O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. The port is near. The bells I hear. The people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grip and daring. But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you bouquets and ribbon wreaths, for you the shores are crowding, for you they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you have fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer, his lips are pale and still. My father doesn't feel my arm, he has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip, the victor's ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells. But I, with mournful tread, walk the dead deck. My captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Can you tell me who wrote these lines? Wonderful lines. This man. Can you guess who he is? Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman. What Beethoven is to music, what Shakespeare is to Britain, what Moliere is to France, Walt Whitman is to America. Walt Whitman was a great poet. He encompassed America. He was an American poet. He was an AmericanBard. He accepted America as his poem. It's something rare. Even Ezra Pound, who grudgingly accepted his greatness, said, he was great. He is America. His crudity is an exceedingly great stench, but it is America. He is the hollow place in the rock that echoes with his time. He does chant the crucial stage, and he is the voice triumphant. He is disgusting. He is an exceedingly nauseating pill, but accomplishes his mission. He is content to be what he is, and he is his time and his people. R.W.B. Lewis also wrote that he was a major writer, great man. He was the part of his self's motion downwards into the abyss of darkness and guilt and pain and isolation, upwards to the creative art in which darkness was transmuted into beauty. When the self became lost to the world, Whitman was lost for poetry. But before that happened, Whitman had, in his own example, made poetry possible in America. So he made poetry possible in America. He created the American idiom, the American diction, the American language. That's why his poetry is so great, so important. And today, every shelf in America, the reader in America, keeps his poem, which is acclaimed as a classic. Something happened in 1997. I had been to Balasore, Odisha, and somebody invited me to go to Fakirman Senapati's tank, famous orchard, and I found Fakirman Senapati had built an image of himself, lest nobody would build in his lifetime. So he had his image built himself. And similarly, Whitman published his own poetry and published his own review, lest nobody would rate him high. He wrote his own review. That was something unique, and Whitman remains a great poet of 20th century. Truly American poetry that is not derivative of European models begins with Whitman. To express a nation, Whitman created an open and flexible poetic form and broadened poetry subject to include the common life and sexuality. Now I will read some of his lines to show what sort of poet he was. He wrote his lines and he called his magnum opus Leaves of Grass. He didn't call it anything else. He called it Leaves of Grass. Leaves of grass are ordinary things which hit the feet. But for Whitman it was something unique. Leaves of grass were as important to him as the stars of heaven. And in Leaves of Grass there is an important segment called Song of Myself. And there he wrote, I celebrate myself and I sing myself. So self was important for him. I celebrate myself and sing myself. So the self he sang the body, he sang the... So he said, Walt Whitman, a cosmos, a Manhattan, the sun, turbulent, fleshy, sensual, eating, drinking and breeding, no sentimentalist, no standard above men and women, or apart from them, no more modest than immodest. Unscrew the locks from the doors, unscrew the doors themselves from their jambs. It's not as easy as it looks. Whitman was a very easy and also very complex poet. He operated on paradoxes. He said, I sing the body electric. I sing the body electric. They are the first lines of I sing the body electric, children of Adam. I sing the body electric. The love of the body of man or woman, box account. The body itself, box account. That of the male is perfect, that of the female is perfect. So this is about Whitman. He also wrote Passage to India, where he says, Passage to more than India are thy wings, plumed indeed for such far flights. O soul, voyagest thou indeed on voyages like those, disportest thou on waters such as those, soundest below the Sanskrit and the Vedas. They have thy bent unleashed. So he was a great poet. He created American diction. Ezra Pound called him a great poet. He created Leaves of Grass. Even Emerson, who had never seen him, said, I greet you at the beginning of a great career. Both Emerson and Thoreau acclaimed him, and they said he was a great man, he was a great poet. He wrote poems like Song of Myself, Crossing Brooklyn Ferry, When Lilacs Last in the Dooryard Bloomed, and Out of the Cradle End. A poet is a great poet. That poet is a great poet who creates a long line of other poets. And Whitman created poets like Hart Crane, created Carlos Williams, and he also created the greatest American poet, Allen Ginsberg, which will be my next theme. So, he was a great poet, and I had the occasion to teach Whitman in the MA at MA level in Khaligot College, Berhampur. And this is what he says, Song of Myself. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. I sound my barbaric yawp over the roofs of the world. This is very important. I used to always quote these lines. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. I sound my barbaric yawp YAWP over the roofs of the world. And then he ends, he says, failing to fetch me at first keep encouraged, missing me one place, search another, I stop somewhere, waiting for you. Remember, Whitman was a very, very voluminous, voluptuous kind of poet. He wrote a lot. He wrote the whole book, Leaves of Grass, this book, whole book he wrote. And it was based on American experience. 1855 he wrote Leaves of Grass. Today it's a great collection and it's a great classic. He remains a great poet. He created a long line of poets, as I said, Hartcrane, William Carlos Williams, and of course Allen Ginsberg, who will be my next great poet. So thank you very much, and this is how I pay my great tribute to this great man, Walt Whitman, who created the American idiom, the American system, American poetry, American everything, the American theme. Thank you very much.